You know, most of us spend our entire lives running from fear. But what if? What if we've been looking at it completely backwards? What if I told you that one of the most misunderstood, most powerful figures in all of mythology holds the key, the secret to turning all that anxiety, that self-doubt, into just unstoppable inner strength? Well, tonight we are diving deep. We are unlocking an ancient practice dedicated to the goddess Kali. And this isn't about banishing fear. No, this is about harnessing its raw energy and turning it into your greatest asset. Okay, so before we can even get into the ritual, we have to understand the force behind it, right? So let's decode the incredibly powerful archetype of Mahakali. And I want you to forget everything you think you know about destruction. This is about liberation.
Yeah, a lot of people see Kali and they think chaos, destruction, but that's not the whole story. She is actually a profound force of liberation. Her whole purpose? To shatter the illusions that keep us trapped. And her dark form? It isn't evil. It actually represents the vast, infinite void of our own unconscious mind. You know, the place where our deepest, darkest fears love to hide. She is the embodiment of courage, the courage to walk right into that darkness and face whatever we find there.
Now, a huge concept tied to Kali is ego death. And listen, this sounds intense, but it's not a violent thing. It's a profound psychological shift. It's that quiet moment of realization that the I, the self that we defend so fiercely every day, is kind of an illusion. And Kali's energy, it helps us see right through it, freeing us from the ego's grip.
And her image, her iconography, it tells the entire story. I mean, look at it. That garland of heads she wears, that represents every single limiting thought, every piece of the ego, severed, gone. Her skirt made of arms, that's about dissolving karma, freeing you from the weight of past actions. The sword in her hand is for cutting through illusion. And the fact that she's standing on Shiva, wow. That symbolizes the ultimate balance between raw, untamed energy, that's Shakti, and pure, still consciousness.
So here's the absolute key takeaway. When you engage with this archetype, you're not asking for a place to hide. You're asking for the strength to stand up and confront whatever is holding you back. It is a direct line to courage. Okay, so now that we get the who, let's get to the how. We're going to see how this powerful archetype translates into a practical, step-by-step ritual. We're basically turning these ancient symbols into a modern guide for building real resilience. And here's our roadmap. It's just 4 clear, simple steps. Create the space, acknowledge your fear, activate with a mantra, and then visualize the transformation. Each step builds on the one before it, guiding you from just getting ready to making a really profound internal shift. All right, step 1. Create the space. This is all about creating a safe container for this work. So light a candle or a diya, maybe lay down a red or a dark cloth. Red is the color of life force after all. Find a quiet spot where you won't be disturbed and just breathe. Take 9 deep, slow breaths. And with every single exhale, I want you to consciously imagine you're releasing all that tension, all that fear you've been holding on to.
Okay, now for the real internal work. Go ahead and close your eyes, and you're going to ask yourself some tough questions, like, what fear is really in the driver's seat of my life right now? What am I actively avoiding? And once you have an answer, I want you to visualize her. Imagine this powerful, fearless force standing right behind you like a guardian, lending you her strength. The point is, you are not alone in this. You're actually activating your own deep subconscious courage.
And now we get to what might be the most important part of this whole thing. The activation. The mantra we're going to use is Om Krim Kalikayai Namah. And please know, this isn't just a string of pretty sounding words. This is a powerful vibrational tool. And the real power is concentrated in that little seed sound, the bija mantra, Krim. I want you to think of it like a key. It's a key that unlocks Kali's raw transformational power. And it's specifically tuned to just slice through any obstacle that's holding you back. And this is where it gets really fascinating. You see, not all Kali mantras are created equal. There's actually a whole vibrational hierarchy. So while other seed sounds like klim might be for attraction, or kring is for a more gentle clearing, cream is the sound for radical transformation. That's exactly why we're using it here. It's the high voltage option, chosen specifically for its power to cut through that deep-seated fear and get you real, tangible results. So you might be wondering, what is this vibration actually doing inside my body? Well, it's directly stimulating key energy centers. It hits your root chakra, which grounds you and makes you feel secure.
It ignites your solar plexus, which is your center for willpower and confidence, and maybe most importantly, it kicks off a deep emotional detox, helping to clear out all those old negative patterns that have been lodged in your subconscious for who knows how long.
And finally, step 4. This is where we transform the energy. I want you to visualize a fire, maybe a brilliant blue flame all around you. Now take that specific fear you named back in step 2 and mentally place it right into that flame. But here's the thing, watch it closely. It doesn't burn up into ash. Instead, it transforms. It turns into this brilliant golden light. And then you take a deep breath and you draw that new empowered energy right back into your heart.
Okay, now for anyone out there thinking, this sounds a little out there, let's build a bridge from this ancient practice straight to modern science. Because what's happening here isn't just some mystical woo-woo. It is deeply, deeply psychological.
I mean, the parallels to modern psychology are just striking. This whole idea of confronting your inner darkness, well, psychologists call that shadow integration. And the act of facing your fear in a safe, controlled space like a ritual, that is the literal foundation of what's called exposure therapy. So you see, this isn't just mysticism. It is a structured psychological workout for your brain. We can actually call this whole process spiritual neuroplasticity. That's a cool term, right? What it means is you are literally training your brain to stop running from fear and start confronting it. By doing this over and over, you physically rewire your neural pathways. You teach your nervous system a brand new response. You're not getting rid of fear, you are building real, measurable resilience to it. All right, so we've covered the theory, we've walked through the practice, now it's time to make it real for you. Let's shift from just understanding this to actually doing it with a simple but really powerful challenge.
Here we go, the 7-day Kali Challenge. It's simple. For the next 7 nights, you're gonna light a lamp, you'll chant the cream mantra 21 times, then you'll write down just one fear in a journal. And here is the most important part. The very next day, you take one small, totally manageable action to face that fear. That's it. That's how you bring this ritual out of the darkness and into your daily life.
So if you are ready to commit, if you're ready to completely transform your relationship with fear, I want you to let us know. Drop a comment below. Making that public declaration can be an incredibly powerful first step.
And really, this brings us to the most important takeaway of all. The goal was never to get rid of the darkness. That's impossible. The goal is to develop the strength to walk through it, to become comfortable in it, knowing that you can handle whatever you might find there. Because it's not about the absence of fear. It's about having the courage to face it head on. That is the ultimate empowerment. And that, right there, is the blessing of Ma Kali.